Hear Dale Deegan, Business Director, Cloud Infrastructure Business Unit at NetApp, on how he thinks formal HCI strategies set agencies up for success in utilizing next-gen technologies.
I think that's a nice example of describing the limited resources the agencies have. If they can have confidence in the building block infrastructure tools that Hyperconverged provides them, it allows them to have more time to focus on higher priority different types of change agent initiatives, such as the AI and machine learning capabilities you're talking about. And so that's where we see the real benefit. Hyperconverged infrastructure basically provides that simplicity of building the infrastructure where people used to use a lot of their energy, but now those same people can confidently build the infrastructure and focus on new topics of really gathering the value from the data from the emerging technologies.
Mike Rosa, Lead Technologist at Department of Homeland Security, and Gerald Karen, Acting Director of Enterprise Network Management at Department of State, discuss how important it is for all federal agencies to implement a formal HCI strategy to lay the groundwork for adopting next-gen technologies.
A strategy is obviously very important in terms of understanding what are our next steps and how we're going to do this. It's a great time to look at, in terms of how Dale is speaking about newer technologies, it's a great time to understand how we're going to implement some of these things that are just obviously going to be a part of our everyday infrastructure. I mean, I was speaking to quickly the Internet of Things earlier. There's the whole aspect of where our entire attack vector in terms of our attack surface is being increased by the amount of different technologies that we are attaching to our networks. And also to that point, there's an entire concept of understanding how edge computing might be changing how essentially we're handling all of this data. And also, we talk a lot about how we're going to secure the data, where the data is going to sit in these cloud environments. But there's also the discussion of making sure our data is where it needs to be, and is it going to be done right when we're actually moving to this cloud environment. So I think it's important for us to take the time and actually look at our data itself and make sure that it's ready to move and not just taking what we already have and moving it to a different area.
Mike said a lot of great things. Didn't disagree with him on anything. Sometimes my thought and a lot of my discussions that I have with people on subjects like this is, it's not so much the technology that's difficult. Usually the technology is the easy part. But it's understanding having a good strategy to understand where you're going. Do you have the right workforce? Why are you doing it? Having a good business driver for doing it. Having the right design principles. Addressing all four areas of your architecture, from the business, the technical, the security, and the data. Understanding all those four areas and how it fits into your architecture. And when you talk about the workforce, do you have the right technical expertise so that this is sustainable and manageable into the future? Because, like I said, technology is easy, but it's all the other things surrounding it and how it fits into your overall infrastructure as part of your architecture, which is important as well to consider.